not feeding the hatred. I'd rather be fed, I'm close enough that I can taste it. All it's gonna take is a little dedication. You're born strike three, I'm in the zone, be patient. Batter up. It's just me, myself, and I. Solo ride until I die. Cause I've got me for life.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So, the market has definitely taken a hit. Excuse me while I make the mic right. Market's definitely taken a hit because this is going to be normally this time of the week is going to be the strongest. If you remember last week when the recovery happened, around these times, it's just natural for humans to work more during the week than the weekend. That's just how society pretty much across the world is structured. So, Saturdays and Sundays are normally days that people take off. And we are seeing, because it was at 96 billion last night, and we're at 88. So, that's a pretty steep drop off right there. And just shaved a couple hundred off the top of Bitcoin, $20 off Ethereum. Everything's just getting whacked, as you can see. And we've been here before, guys. I mean, we've been here before. We already know what happens next, right? This is just the beginning. This just happened in the last 8 hours. See, that's why I was debating whether to sell my Vertasium for 280. I really didn't do it just because the same reason I didn't sell my Bitcoin was at 28. I'm just in a position where it's like, I don't know. I'm still kind of catching myself in my old school mode where it's like, I'm sitting here and I'm like always trying to make a move to make money, because you wouldn't believe it, when my old school self, aka 2-3 months ago, I was always, and I see this with a lot of people, working as hard as I possibly could, trying to make every opportunity I could. So my older philosophy would have definitely been to sell Vertasium at 280, sell Bitcoin 28, and I would have won this time. I win most of the time when I do that. It's just now, it's really just just to be blunt, it's not worth my time. I don't care. It's not a big deal to me to do that. To make that money, to make a little bit of money, selling low, selling high. I still do it when it's obvious and it's right in front of me and I'm bored or whatever. I'll fucking pull a trigger, but it's not so obvious to me right now because, we've been having just uncharted territory. How the fuck could it be obvious to me? I mean, look at this Bitcoin graph. We've never seen some shit like this. We never see shit like this for Bitcoin, ever. Bitcoin is always like crocodile teeth and shit. This is just a weird looking graph for Bitcoin. So a lot of the, look at Ethereum. I mean, a lot of the cryptos have kind of the same vibe. If you look at them, the same type of thing, because it's just how it works. If this thing gets below 70, or not below 70, obviously get below 70 would be bad. But if it got below 80 this week, I think it getting below 80 this week is going to be much, much, much more harmful than when it got below 80 last week. Obviously, it got into the 60s, but what I'm trying to say is, anytime there's a severe crash like there was, and then there's a recovery, and you give people hope, and then you take that hope away, it's like a backlash effect. So, it's kind of like burning your hand and re-burning it. It's like traumatizing. So we definitely just, sit back. I'm just kind of having popcorn, sitting back, looking forward to, the future is so exciting. I want to take a second to thank everybody who's been watching. And because as much as I don't give a fuck about really anything, like I love my family and all that, but I got something with me that's not the same as normal humans. Like I don't get too excited and I don't get too down. I kind of have this like ceiling and roof on my emotions, so it allows me to do what I do with great focus. And I never, it's like it's perfect for it. I'm the perfect investor, basically, if you could mold one out of clay. And as much as I really don't care what other people think, I was thinking the other day, man, if there was no one on the planet, what would be the point of anything? Like if I was just alone, What the fuck? Why would I be investing in cryptos? Like, what would be the point of being the richest person in the world if you're automatically the richest person in the world because you're fucking the only one there? And I really thought deep about that, and I was like, man, you only don't care what anybody thinks until there's no one around. And then it's like, well, fuck. Now you took my option away. Now I have no choice. I have to not care what anybody thinks because there's no other humans. When you take the option away, it's kind of like putting somebody in a badass room, and they go into the room and they're like, man, this room's fucking awesome. I love this room. And then they're like, cool. And then they shut the door and say, you can never leave. Then you're like, well, fuck's sake. I like the room, but I don't want to be trapped in this bitch forever. And yeah, that's kind of what it'd be like with no humans. So I do appreciate everyone that watches, because I wouldn't be making these videos and I wouldn't be investing in cryptocurrencies. You know, I'd probably be riding a rhinoceros through the safari, you know, with a hat made of jungle twine and a bow and arrow I carved from a red oak. I wouldn't be killing animals because I wouldn't need to. I'd be growing a bunch of farmland food. But yeah, I just wanted to share my little deep epiphany I had the other day, last night I believe, when it came to not giving a fuck versus no humans at all. So as much as I like to say I don't give a fuck, I do to the point when there's no humans. Then it's like, well, then everything's boring. Bringing it back to the cryptocurrencies. So what's going to happen this week? I have no fucking clue. What do I think is going to happen? And what am I going to do? I'm going to be chilling. I'm not really... I mean, like I said, I'm looking to throw spearfishing. I'm always setting lures. But the lures, it's just such a weird time right now because we don't know. It could go rock bottom because there's already... you know, Bitmain clarifies its Bitcoin cash fork position. There's still a lot of bullshit going on, like a lot of uncertainty, because you got to keep in mind Bitcoin is as decentralized as possible. There's like not even a home committee. So anytime there's a new change, you're gonna have, and it's a shame because there's just two positions with Bitcoin right now that are at utter opposite ends. They're just not ever going to cooperate. And one has a big media presence and one has like all the support from the programmers that fucking matter. So it's like a competition between fucking media versus actual technology, because I've done the research and I know that one group has done 100 times more code, and the other group, their simple argument is, well, it doesn't matter if it's 100 code, all that code is crap. And it's like, well, then that's fine, but back it up with your own fucking code, right? Like, where's your thousands and thousands and thousands of lines of code? That's miraculous. And to say that it's crap code, but I mean, everyone that's in that team, you know, everybody that's in the main team, they're all gangsters. So, I don't know. I just think that eventually the obvious side will prevail, and that's the side that has the most support via actual programmers. But money talks, and, you know, if they were to pay off these miners, I mean, there's a lot of fucking money at stake with Bitcoin, and there's a lot of people putting themselves in positions. And of course, fucking humans are trying to take more than, you know, they're trying to take it all. Like, there's a difference between me, man. I'm not a fucking shithead. I don't have to manipulate shit. I could have manipulated many markets. I don't need to manipulate shit. I know how to get shit done on my own damn self. A lot of people don't have what I have. Okay, that's too bad. But you know, don't result to fucking things over. Like, I'm not trying to fuck people over. No one's losing money with me. Everyone around me is making money. That's the sign of a champion. But people always like to take the fucking shitty way out and like bribe miners to lower the Bitcoin price and cause all this fucking bullshit. And it's like, fuck you, guy. Like, I want to get in a ring with these guys and go toe to toe and knock some fucking brains out. That's how mad I get, because it's like, fuck you, buddy. Like, you're trying to fuck me. You think we're just going to sit back and let you do it. It's like, I don't give a fuck about dying. I'll come fucking elbowing some eyes out. I hate this shit. I'm tired of it. There's just too much of it in this world, and I don't know where it came from. All this weakness, because that's all it is weakness. When you gotta fuck somebody else over, that's just pure weakness on your part. It's like the most weasel way to do it. Stealing, leading people into traps. I just think that if we've come so far from the dark ages where people used to fucking be savages and just there was no organization, there was no nothing. And now we have a new game to play. And we cleaned it up a lot where we're not cutting people's heads off and fucking burning villages and shit. We made a business. And yeah, it's ruthless and it's savage, but at the end of the day, no blood is usually spilt. Obviously, there's a lot of fucking murders and shit behind the scenes, but I'm talking about the pure theory of the game, not what the humans bring to it. I'm talking about what it's supposed to be. And we brought that a step further with blockchain. And yet, here they are, trying their damnedest to bring us back to the fucking dark ages. Because that's what this USD, that's what this government, all this crazy bullshit going on nowadays. People think we're free. We're going to look back 50 years from now, and it's going to look like the dark ages. We're going to be like, what the fuck were we thinking? We were fucking crazy assholes. All anyone thought about was imaginary paper money that was toxic to the environment. They would literally kill millions of beautiful trees, right? Millions of, you know how many trees are killed to make fucking money? So we destroy the most valuable thing on this planet that gives us oxygen. Without it, our bitch asses couldn't even breathe. And then we turn it into some piece of shit paper that we couldn't wipe our asses with without getting a rash. I just think that, I don't know. It's like I was born into some kind of shit show. It's like I woke up from a beautiful dream into a fucking hell pit. It's crazy because, you know, people my age, like, and even younger, obviously, like, and older too, it's just like we're born into this shit show, and it's like we can't just King Kong our way out of it. It's like we have to finesse. If we want to survive, we have to be smart about it. It's just such a really fucking crazy world out there. And I know this has been more of a off-topic type of deal, but it's just kind of how I see everything evolving going forward. It does affect the crypto world to know how outside people think. And I really like that about Cliff High. I like his report because he gets into that aspect. And if you know me, you know I'm a weird motherfucker, and I like shit like that. And I was already thinking stuff like that, but you already know I'm not going to be running the fucking data analysis on the weather patterns and all that. Like, you know, I can become a multi-billionaire without having to do that stuff. Like, I have my own way of making money. I always make money easily, always, my whole fucking life. Easy, because people that make shit complicated, they'll have like a million fucking lines, and I'll just walk up and fucking erase it all and draw one line from point A to point Z, and they're like, oh, well, I guess you can do it that way, but it seems so simple. I'm like, well, yeah. It's like I set lures, and I buy it at cheap prices, and then, you know, I fucking don't buy it if it's not a cheap price. And I make tons of money. It's worked for me, you know. What can I say? And, you know, I take big risk for big rewards because that's who I am. And my risks aren't risk because I put all my effort into my investments. So nothing magical here, just putting in the work and being fearless and doing whatever it takes to get there in a moral way. Because you're not going to get there if you're fucking people over. If you get to the top by fucking people over, you got a million knives already pointed towards your back. But if you get there by bringing everyone along, you have 1,000 knives around you, but they're pointed away from you in your defense. You see the difference? And that's the difference. One way is a lot harder to get to. It's a lot harder to bring everyone up with you, right? Because it's fucking a lot of people and it gets heavy and it's tough. A lot of responsibility. It's a lot easier just to snake shift and stab backs and get to the top. So be wary. Be wary of, if you're new in this game, who you follow, who you get your advice from. You know, you should just have a gut motherfucking feeling about who's legit and who's not. You should be able to listen to a motherfucker talk, look at his past, and make your decision. That's how I make my decisions. Sometimes you'll be wrong, but you'll be surprised at how many times you're right when you really listen to your gut and not anyone else's bullshit, just your gut, what your gut telling you. I am not buying, like I said, right now. I think we could easily, we're still at 88, which is like fucking popping from where we were. And like I said, every time this market goes down from here on out, it creates more of a panic. So I have gotten rid of a lot of my tether because of that Vertasium dump or whatever. You know, I was getting Vertasium for under 120. Obviously it crashed. It peaked at 280. I was thinking about selling it. And that would have been a nice bink, to be honest with you. If I would have done that, if I would have sold the Vertasium for 280 and then bought it back down around where it is now, that would have been worth it. But that's the thing. It's just really weird what's going on. It's like Bitcoin's so powerful that when the market goes down, the price of Bitcoin goes down, it even brings Ethereum down with them. And you know, because you would think the one things that would be safe during this crash would be Ethereum and Vertasium, and well, not just Vertasium and Ethereum, like any Ethereum based token, because they're safe from the Bitcoin fork. And you would think like, yeah, Bitcoin going down would affect the market, but you would think the money would stay in the market and just go to Ethereum. But it just goes to show you how either A, they're not doing their homework, B, scared money, C, ulterior motives we don't understand. I think I weigh heavily towards the first two. So, just going to kill it here. Trying to go with a little bit shorter videos, see how this works. But yeah, kill it here. Cheers. Peace.